What's going on, people? Welcome to Live Palace News. It is Tuesday, the 20th of August. It's a new week, new content coming along the way, match previews, opposition previews, and of course, Palace news to keep you up to date with all the latest that's going on. Today on our agenda, there are a few potential attacking incomings that we're going to be talking about. As well, the biggest topic, to be fair, people, is that of reports of potentially Palace needing to sell before they buy, which has upset some of the fan base. So we're going to be discussing that and more. Make sure to get involved throughout the show by letting us know your thoughts in the live comment section and the comment section down below. Leave a like and subscribe as well, people. It's free and helps us out massively. So thank you to all of you that normally do that throughout the shows. T, how you doing, man? Well, you might be doing good, but I would not know because you're on mute.
Touche, my friend.
I guess you've had better days. Regardless.
It's been a busy day. It's the first day of school here, so it's been crazy. So,
yeah, and with Palace, I mean, there are some players that we're going to be talking about, of course, but the biggest thing that we're going to be talking about, and sending your questions, by the way, throughout the show by putting a Q and the dot before it is going to be that potential outgoings before we get incomings at the football club. Who those players could be as well. So there are some interesting subjects to get into today. But let's start off with the first bit of news, and that is more of a player news, positive news, I guess, depending on how you view the situation. Crystal Palace remain keen on Carney. You can finish your surname, T.
Chukwuemeka.
Exactly. The club are considering a loan with an option to buy. Lovely assist there from T, and that's according to Bobby Manzi. Interestingly, we have spoke about him already this summer, not too long ago as well. Right now, the reports are a loan with an option to buy, which I'm not against because we haven't used the loan market as much. And I feel like at times, especially with Chelsea, the loan market has helped us in the short term, but in the long term, we've developed these players to send them back to the football club with no option to buy. But for you, he can play as a midfielder and as a number 10, so he gives us that versatility there. But do you see a deal like this happening with the reported fee? I mean, if it was a permanent deal, they're talking around £40 million, which we're never going to pay.
Right, and that makes me think, even with, because I mean, naturally you see stuff about the fact that if we strike the deal, it's going to have some type of obligation on it. Even if we get the loan move done with an obligation, I don't see that obligation being 40 either. I can see that obligation maybe being as high as 30. You know what I mean? But, I just got to let it play out and see how it goes because, as time ticks on, maybe Chelsea gets a little bit more desperate to get a move for him done because they need to clear salary and possibly be bringing in some more revenue to offset what they've already done in the market. So you never know.
Yeah, you don't. Big up to Shifty. And Michael's saying he doesn't understand this one. Do you think it makes sense in terms of what we need? And we spoke about like a flair type of player.
Well, I mean,
you can go down a different route with maybe Madueke from Chelsea instead.
You definitely could. I think if this is for that, more attack-minded inside forward 10 role, I think somebody like Madueke is probably more ready-made for that role. But Chukwuemeka definitely has some attacking aspects to him for sure. So he can play more of an 8 role. He seems like he has acumen in playing attacking midfield, so he could definitely do it. It's another right-footed player, but I'm not sure how much that matters to us at this point. But
yeah, as you said, the fee is going to be high. Kyle saying I think the only way it happens on the permanent is if Chelsea get really desperate. So yeah, I think the finance involved is a bit of a struggle. That's why a loan makes sense with an obligation to buy. But then again, the obligation to buy is key as well because I mean, I don't know if Chelsea would budge down so much. Would they want to get 30 million in a year's time? It's hard to say right now with the way that they've been operating. They've not shot themselves in the foot with all. They've shot themselves in the foot with all of these big contracts. I've actually had this debate, literally like half an hour ago. I was on a stream on Saeed's channel, Saeed TV. Make sure to check him out. And I don't think they've shot themselves in the foot. The reason for that is initially I did think that, is because the reports are suggesting that these players are on a lower wage plus high bonus type of contract. So even though they're on a 6, 7 year deal, because the initial wages are not as high. For example, you're seeing wages at top six clubs being very high. For players like Eddie and Nketiah at Arsenal around 120, 130, let's say. Because the average wage is around 60, 70,000 pounds, it makes it easier to sell the player, let's say, if they really want to get rid of him for a lower fee because the wages are a bit more suitable. So I think it depends on the situation. I believe his wage is around £100,000, which is not that cheap.
100, 110 or something like that.
Yeah, which is not that cheap, but yeah, personally, we need another number 10. We 100% need another number 10. The question is, who is that going to be? My thoughts right now is that if we were to get one, it will be a player from Chelsea, due to the fact that they are willing to sell, so it might be easier to get a deal done with them. But there's no guarantees in that as well. Chelsea won around £30 million for Madueke. Chelsea are fishing. It's a buyer's market dealing with Chelsea. And so, yeah. And Palace 14.39 saying exactly T spoke to Chelsea mate who said he was an 8. So, yeah, I mean, he's not like an outright typical number 10. And I feel like the type of player right now we need is a player with flair. And I think Madueke fits that category a bit more, but I'm not against it. I'm not against it if it was to happen. But yeah, we spoke about him before. He's been mentioned once again. But to be fair, one thing that I haven't mentioned, and I've mentioned a few weeks ago, but we have partnered up with Com Avi this season. So there's going to be ticket giveaways, which one of them is currently active right now. So I'm going to get the link for that, where you can follow the simple instructions in order to win tickets to this weekend's game against West Ham. All you have to do is follow Back of the Nest on X/Twitter, follow ComAvi Official, and retweet the post. So make sure to check out Back of the Nest on the X platforms, Twitter platform, whatever you call it, and just follow the simple instructions. And then, yeah, you could be in chance of winning tickets for free to this weekend's game. Which
be smart,
be doing more work with them.
Be smart.
We'll be doing more work with them as well. So make sure to show love to the sponsors, people, and hopefully from here onwards we can get more and more on board to give back to you lot. So this is a bit of a thank you for these competitions. I wish I could give every single one of you free tickets to the game, but I can't. So we've got a competition instead. Otherwise it'll be hard. I don't own Crystal Palace, but yeah, there'll be more giveaways. So make sure to check out Avi and Back of the Nest on Twitter/X. Let's move on to the next bit of news, which is quite of a significant news in my opinion, and that is from Sam Smith. Who is Sam Smith actually the artist? I mean, it's not him, of course, saying it, but
there is an artist named Sam Smith.
There is an artist called Sam Smith, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
There is. Yeah, not the artist, but Sam Smith from Express Sport understands that there will be an outgoing before any major incoming deals are complete. So if you are frustrated, if you're going to leash out, don't leash out on me. Let your frustration know in the chat, because some people were upset over this, the fact that we do still have to sell to buy, which has surprised a few, saying what's happened with the Elise money. Then some people are countering that, saying that we spent money in January as well. Just your thoughts on that, because it's not really what you want to hear towards the end of the window when we're still talking about improving in a few positions.
I mean, I think initially you take it a certain way as us not having money to spend, but I'm taking it more the fact that it's more about accommodating spots in the first team. At this point, we've got, I think I want to say maybe 26 guys or 27 guys for the first team right now. So I think it's more to make room for spots in the first team, not so much having money to spend. I think we have the money to spend. It's just that we have a lot of guys in the team under contract, and we're not looking to do a Chelsea. We're not looking to do a Brighton where you're bringing in when you've got like 30 some odd guys on your first team wage bill. That's not something that we've ever really subscribed to in the past. It doesn't seem like it's something that we're going to be doing in the future. So I think it's more the fact that, hey, we still got guys here that are under contract that we have to pay, and we don't want to bring in more guys to add to that wage bill until we've gotten offloaded some other guys. I think that's what it is more than anything else, to be honest.
I guess that goes back down to Anderson and Mark Gay rumors then, potentially selling one of those two.
Yeah, it could be
What's
one of
your
those two.
thoughts
It
on
could
that too?
be IU. It could be Schlupp. It could be loaning out a guy like Hamada. It could be, it could be a number of things that we need. But when you're talking simply about numbers, the numbers game, it's a lot of things that can be done movement wise to open up spots for sure.
Yeah. As I've said, people make sure to check that out. I know a few of you are already getting involved. I'm keeping an eye out on that on our X/Twitter platform for the West Ham tickets giveaway. If you're just joining us now, go over there. Simple instructions for you to potentially see Palace live in the first home game of the season. Adam saying we have signed 2 players who can play number 10. No chance we will sign a third. I mean, Saar, there's always been a question mark whether he can play as a number 10. Technically, he can, but I wouldn't say he's like a number 10 that we've signed is guaranteed. If that was the case, then yeah, I mean, we're sorted. But I think that's why we're having these conversations. But then again, you did mention, for example, Hamada on loan or IU selling IU. Let's be real though. If you sold, or if we sold IU for around £5 to £10 million, we're not going to bring in a number. If we need to sell to buy, that's not enough money. It has to be Gay or Anderson if we want to.
Like I said, I don't think. Like I said, once again, I don't necessarily think that it may be money associated. Like I said, I think it may just be first team space associated. I mean, if we're talking about the fact that if we're looking to if we're only speaking about the money that was brought in for Elise, we've only spent circa half of that money at this point between SAR and Riyadh. It's probably about 25 million. So that means we got about another 25 million that's sitting there. And then if you do end up moving somebody like a Jordan Ayew for 10 million, say that's 35 million right there that you could use. So I don't think it's a money thing personally. I think it's more of a space in the team thing. I think we have money. I just think that because like to say that we probably came into this summer window with a budget of £0 to spend in the market, and then we sold Michael Elise, and now we have £50 million to sell. I don't think that's real. I think that we came in with a set amount to spend in the window, and that's been supplemented by the sale of Michael Elise. So I think we have money to use. I just don't think that the spots in the team are there because we're a smaller club, so our wage bill really matters a lot for us. So we just can't be bringing in guys and just stockpiling our numbers because of what that's going to do to our wage bill. So I think the sell to buy thing is more about space in the team and less about having money to spend.
I've remained calm so far in the window. I've said from the start that I'm not forgetting about what's actually happened in last season. Last season was a very frustrating season. Last summer, we ended the summer window with, I was thinking that we weren't ambitious enough keeping Roy at the football club and some of our business that we've done. January was good. We went in the right direction. Getting rid of Roy was good in my opinion. Bringing in Glasner was a positive step. But for me, that's still not enough if you want to push forward. I feel like there are 1 or 2 players that we still need to strengthen on. Losing Elise is not easy. We can't replace him directly, unfortunately. I know some people are saying we need to replace Elise. Who do you bring in? Who do you bring in realistically that is good enough to replace Michael Elise, a player that we're talking about as a generational talent? But there are positions, for me personally, left wing back, right wing back. I have no hopes about that, but that's why I don't think it will ever be a 10 out of 10 window. I'll be shocked if we end it with 10 out of 10. In terms of my ratings, right now we're 6.5. There's still room for improvement. Another number 10 as well. Left wing back, another number 10, that's doable. That should be doable. That should be realistic for the club as well. They should be able to understand that. Right wing back, I think they might move a bit stubborn and keep Klein and Ward as options there, which are not good enough for me. And it is kind of scary. But yeah, so selling to buy, maybe we do see Gay, Hill, Anderson end up moving. It's not.
It's definitely not done. It's not completely out of the question. I think the good thing that we have going for us is that neither of them have release clauses. So if they are to move, it's going to be done on our terms. And I think that works both in our favor in both the amount that we're going to be looking for, as well as whether or not we have things set in motion to replace them.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy. By the way, people, if you have joined now and you haven't already done so, if you're enjoying the stream, please hit the like button. Thank to every single one of you that does that for every one of these shows. And I'll keep an eye out on the like counter. Let me go through some of the comments before we move on. Adam saying, don't get me wrong, selling Gahey to sign left back and another number 10 and Gahey replacement is a no-brainer, I think. Do you agree?
I mean,
I still think he's our best defender at the football club. I'm not getting carried away with this weekend, by the way. What happened this past weekend?
I mean, I'm not getting carried away about
I'm not writing
anyone on the team at all from that for sure. Yeah, I think that I don't. If I had the choice, I wouldn't sell Mark Gahey. I still wouldn't. And like I said, my view on this is purely from a business standpoint. From a business standpoint, trying to bring in, money and things and looking at where players are, Anderson is in the prime of his career, headed towards the twilight of it. And what you can get for him right now is probably more than you're going to be able to get for him at any point moving forward, to be honest with you. So, because at the end of his contract, if we were to see out his contract, things like that, he's going to be right at 30 years old. So at that point, we'll be seeing less for him. So me personally, if I had to choose between moving him and Mark Gahey, it's probably going to be him because I can get a substantial amount as far as the transfer fee is concerned. We can bring in quality players, and we still are able to solidify ourselves with good talent that is, at a better age point.
The funniest thing about all of this Gahey and Anderson situation is it shows how sometimes emotions get the best out of people. I was having a debate about Anderson. People were saying, "Oh, sell Gahey over Anderson is more important to our system because of his passing ability," which I think we underrate Gahey's passing ability and his ability on the ball. I mean, Anderson.
And I think we overrate. I think we overrate Anderson's passing ability contribution to what we're trying to do right now.
You look at the Sunday's game. I haven't got the stats out with me, but I mean, Gahey had him diagonal balls on lock. Like he can do that. He can do what Anderson can do. Maybe not at the same level, but Gahey's passing stats, even last season, was actually better than Anderson's. Even though I know he has played less games, so that probably contributes to it. But they're not too far off. Anderson might be better, but just a little bit better. But now all I'm seeing is people saying sell Anderson, for example, after that one game because he didn't have a great game as well. So
he didn't have a good preseason either.
Yeah,
completely honest.
Yeah, exactly. He hasn't had a great preseason. Exactly. I would sell Anderson over Gahey, but then I also understand for valid reasons. I get it. Someone said to me on Twitter, look, I asked a question. Someone said, well, there's a bigger chance of Anderson staying Gahey. He's got 2 years left on his deal, and we don't know if he signs a new contract. So Anderson and selling Gahey makes a bit more sense than selling Anderson, which I think is totally understandable. But to say that Anderson is more important to the system than Gahey, I'm not too sure. I feel like at times you are right. Maybe we're overrating Anderson's passing ability, underrating Gahey's passing ability. I'm not even too sure. Like I think it's a combination of both things. Like Anderson and Gahey is not bad on the ball. I don't know why we're acting like Anderson.
He was bad on the ball. We wouldn't have played him in central midfield at one point if he was bad on the ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he played underclass on. We've been linked with players. I'm sure one or two will come in, but whether we keep Gahey is anyone's guess at this moment.
Yep.
What's your feeling?
Man, I wish I knew, man.
Newcastle.
I feel this is what I will say. I feel like if there's going to be some movement like with those two, I would expect it to happen this week and not next week. I feel like next week might be a little bit too much of a crunch for us as far as trying to sell a player and then get somebody in too. So I would expect that, if we see something, it may happen this week. But, you never know. You never know in this game, in this day and age, what happens or who's going to throw out what offer and when. So,
yeah. Gahey has one foot out of the door. Do we want to play that are not really 100% emotionally, I guess you try to say, invested in the club? I think it's hard to say that right now in terms of saying Gahey,
That's one
has
foot
one
out
foot
because
out.
a lot of that's conjecture from the media. So like we don't know how much of
Yeah,
this is really true.
yeah. I mean, he feels forcing it so badly, which Steve Parish has denied. He has said that Gahey's remain professional. I mean, if he wasn't professional, if his attitude was off in training, he wouldn't walk out as the Palace captain.
As the captain. Yeah,
Exactly,
right.
exactly. So I don't have a
Right.
problem with that. I don't have a problem with that. But I think also Kyle's comment before it saying I think Gahey is undervalued by our fans because he didn't play
Mm-hmm.
during the hot stretch. Look, for me, I would be happy, like not happy, but I would be okay with selling Gahey for £65 million. I think that money could get reinvested. It is not a major problem for us because the replacements that's been mentioned, for example, I think they're more than good enough. But even if you keep Gahey, I wouldn't mind that either. I think it's a win-win
Mm-hmm.
situation for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I was to pick between Gahey or Anderson, who I sell, of course, Anderson, 100%.
And I mean, because when you
25
think
million pound
about
Anderson, that could
when you think
still,
about some of this, it's like if in this window we sell Elise and Anderson, that's 90 million pounds. Even if Mark Gahey didn't sign the extension and come next year he ends up getting sold for 40 million, you know, by that time we'll already have had time to line up even more replacements and things. So it doesn't kill us. You know what I mean? It's not like we're in a situation where we're just being scalped of all our talent, because if Anderson is to move in this window, we bring in a replacement now, and then come next summer, Gahey sells for another 50 some odd million or 50 million, and we replace him. It's more gradual. We're not getting scalped of everything. We're not losing everything all at once either, and we're still seeing a significant profit coming back to us that we can use moving forward.
yeah. The problem, Blue Muffin saying, the problem is, would the money be reinvested? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it would be reinvested into the football
If the
club.
money's not reinvested, we stand to lose a great manager who has left other clubs in the past for that exact reason. So
Exactly. And I
I think,
don't think
yeah,
that
that type of
you know,
conversation has had to have happened prior
yeah.
to Oliver Glasner signing on the dotted line and coming on.
Yeah. Come Natural saying Anderson's crossfield passing can be a lethal weapon in some games. It can be. And I'm not saying that Anderson doesn't have those games where his passing is massive for us, but
Yeah,
I
and
don't think
can
Gay's
be in
passing.
some games doesn't make you
I don't think Gay's
irreplaceable.
passing is that bad either. There is that as well. Like Gay's passing, Anderson's passing might be better, but it's not that Gay's passing is that far behind Anderson's. It's just Anderson, of course, that's his role in the side. So we see Anderson more on the ball. But even on the weekend against Brentford, we did see, for example, Gahey having those diagonal balls, which Anderson normally makes, and they did work out. So it's not like Gahey cannot pass the ball.
Yeah, because
So yeah,
he can do it. You see it all the time. I don't think that anything that Anderson's doing is absolutely irreplaceable or absolutely can't be uncompensated for by our team. I mean, he had three. I think he had 3 assists last year, which is great for a center back. You know, it's not like we're talking about a guy who's got 6 or 7 assists from center back, and his passing is all world. Like it's not that. You know what I mean? Like it's I don't know, but
yeah. Let's see. Let's see the like count, people. Let's see if people are sleeping. Let's see if people are sleeping. Let's see if the likes are up. We are on 45 with about 100 of you here. I know we can hit 60 or 70. Yesterday, as I said that, it literally took us 5 seconds to go and hit around 60 likes. So let's
true
see if we
deal.
can do it once again today. Thank you to all and every single one of you that do tune in to these live shows, and to those who, of course, watch on replay and send their likes and comments as well. We really appreciate all of you. Just a quick update in case you haven't caught up on the situation. We have got a giveaway to finally, we've teamed up with Avi, Crystal Palace, of course, sponsors of the football club, and we are giving away tickets to Palace versus West Ham game. All you have to do is follow Back of the Nest on X / Twitter, follow Avi. But the instructions, if you go over to Back of the Nest on X, you'll be able to find the instructions there. Very simple. As I've said, I wish it wasn't a giveaway. I wish I could just hand you the tickets, but there's a lot of you that do watch the channel, so Unfortunately, we won't be able to give away that many tickets. So hopefully you have a chance to win. But if you don't, the good thing is this ain't the only giveaway. We got more in the pipeline. So make sure to follow Back Up the Nest and Com Avi as well. Steven saying let's keep all the squad, add another 2 players and go for it. Every season we are 2 or 3 players short. Not this season. Yeah, I mean we can go for it, add more players, and I wish that is the case. But if we don't have the money, then it's a bit of a struggle. Really saying, why are we interested in signing another midfielder? Is this something I'm missing? He can play as a number 10. I think that's the thing that you're missing. He can play as a number 10, but some people say he's an 8, etc. But he's not outright number 10, but yeah, he can play there.
He played more outright number 10 at Aston Villa. He played more of that at Villa than he did at Chelsea.
Yeah. So yeah, he has shown glimpses in the past in terms of playing in that number 10 role. Now, quickly, Killian Phillips has I believe left the club or going to leave the club. He hasn't been officially announced yet. I don't know if it has. He'll be leaving on loan with an obligation to buy to St. Mirren. T, another player, young player gone. I guess that's normal.
Yeah, I guess it's normal. And it was one of those things I think with him was coming. I mean, he's coming up on being 23, I believe. And, just weren't hearing much about him. It doesn't sound like he was having a whole lot of first team involvement anymore as far as like preseason preparations and things. So this was one of those things that was kind of like inevitable to see happen. It was just us waiting for it to just finally be official.
So let's see once that's official. But yeah, I mean, it's not going to be a massive news, is it?
Nah.
I don't think anyone's going to be losing sleep over it. Unfortunately, there'll be more players leaving the football club in the future. Not everyone's going to make it from the academy. That's just the facts of it. If you're enjoying the stream, hit the like button, people, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Let's go through some of the questions. If you do have any questions, put a Q and a dot before it. We'll answer it before we do wrap up the show. Let's start off with Palace 1439, who says Carney rumored to have £40 million release clause and over £100,000 per week. We have spoke about this. I mean, if we were to sign him, even on loan, there could be a problem with the obligation, depending on how much Chelsea want. So I'm not getting my hopes too high just yet. But yeah, I mean, it won't be a cheap deal. Adam saying, no, I think that was by accident. I think you put it out there, T. I don't know if you put it out by accident, but Glasgow's comments, he wants to keep everyone at the club and is happy with the squad. Doesn't sound like anyone coming in. Yeah, I mean, with Glasgow's comments, I think he's not going to come out publicly and say, well, to be fair, he might do, but I don't think he's going to come out and say, he
wants guys going. And, I think it's his point. Like, part of him is to say he believes in who he has, because honestly, if you discredit anybody or say you want guys to start leaving, that's going to affect the ability to move guys too. You know what I mean?
Twist is saying, do you think our squad is strong enough defensively to make top 10? I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Without injuries. With sustaining and not having serious injuries, yeah.
But I guess that's with a lot of teams, right? If a lot of teams have injuries, then
yeah,
I mean,
that's the name of the game.
They'll struggle defensively, but yeah, 100% our strongest defensive back five: Munoz, Gehi, maybe Riyad Richards, depending on the situation. There, Anderson, Mitchell. They are good enough. I'm not going to get carried away. So they're not. Kyle saying, do you think the feeling is that the club may think this is the last chance to cash in on Anderson? Fulham coming back again and again seems to make me think he's available. Do you?
I mean, it makes sense to have your options open to see what happens. You know what I mean? Like I said, if somebody comes in here soon, like a Fulham, and Fulham says, hey, we'll give you the 40, we'll give you the 45. Like, that's a substantial amount of money, man. Like, and for like you said, a player that's going to be 28 this year. You know what I mean? Like, so at some point, business is business, and if that happens, then so be it. If not, you move forward. So,
yeah. Let's see. Big up to Saeed. Make sure to check him out, people, if you haven't already done so. Very close to 100k subs. United fan.
100K. Wow.
Yeah, man. Side's a
out, man.
big player. He's a big player in the game. He's a big player. So make sure to check him out. I'm pretty sure I don't have to say that because all of you probably subscribe to Side already.
Saeed, tell some of them people.
Yes, send us a few people
this way, man.
You can send us a few people our way. But big up to Side. I was on Best of the Rest. Make sure to check that out as well. I know a lot of you watch the show on replay, so after this one, check it out. Unison, have you heard of any development regarding Goossens? I've read somewhere over in Germany that said that we'll bring him any day now.
I saw that. I saw that thing too. That little report too, and it said something about it all depends on us selling first. But I don't know. Who knows? You know, he would be a great player to add, though.
Yeah. Look, I'm not panicking. I'm not panicking right now. We've got enough time in the window to do business. We don't need to do major business. 1 or 2 more plays at least, and then we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Our defense, questions about our defense not being good enough for top 10. No, it is good enough for top 10. We were very good under Glasgow last year, even without Gehi. I'd Gehi there. You know, we're good enough. Even if he was to leave, the replacements are solid enough to do us a job there as well. So yeah, let's see what happens. But people, we're gonna wrap up there. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already done so. That's it from me and T. The match preview, opposition preview with Lawless. Of course, it's always enjoyable recording with him. The most deluded West Ham fan. We have a bit of fun talking about our teams. I'm going to be recording that after this one. So Wednesday, Thursday, every single day there's content out, and there'll be live watch along this weekend. So that should be good. It should be T and Tim doing that. Match reaction, player ratings. Just what do you want? What else do you want apart from all of the shows? But yeah, so we got a lot coming your way. Check out the giveaway as well on X/Twitter. That's it from me and T. And until next time, up the pants.
Up the palace.